Hello everyone, welcome back to another episode of FC. I hope you all are very well and very good. And today I'm back with another episode today. And today I'm going to discuss about Chelsea talks, simple talks on Chelsea, talking about the transfer rumors, talking about Chelsea's current news, and all of the stuff related to Chelsea. So please, people, before I start the show, do hit the like button, do hit the subscribe button, and please keep supporting the channel. So taking on a bit of chat before starting. And first of all, I'm going to take this question. The figures mentioned for Bernardo Silva are between 50 million to 55 million Gerard Romero. I think the deal is very close to be agreed, and the price tag for me, Football Creeks, has been agreed between the clubs. Lucas Paqueta is Bernardo replacement with 60 to 65 million tag. I think City can even do much better Football Creeks. I think Paqueta will take a bit more time to settle. But City at the moment have not got anything wrong when it comes to transfers, bar some one or two dodges. And Danish Bhai is in the chat. Hello, Danish Bhai. Hope you're well and good. Thank you, Danish Bhai, to join. So, starting off today, and the first topic I want to discuss about today is Pierre-Emerick Aubameyang, who is getting linked to Chelsea again and again. And now, bringing on to some news for Chelsea. This is about the Pierre-Emerick Aubameyang news that's been coming out right now. The news is that Chelsea are set to hold discussion this week around Aubameyang and if he could be priced out of Barcelona. Hakim Ziyech still wants to leave Chelsea as well. And Danish will take that at the end after discussing all this football one. I'll take that at the end. I'll take the scores from Google Chrome as well. So I'll do that at the end, Danish Bhai. And Chelsea are set to hold discussion this week around Aubameyang if he could be priced out of Barcelona. Hakim Ziyech still wants to leave Chelsea as well. So I think it was very clear from long time ago that Hakim Ziyech is a player that wants to leave Chelsea for a long time. AC Milan have been heavily linked to sign Hakim Ziyech. The deal at the moment has not been agreed in any sense because I think Chelsea are trying to sell him for a bit more higher price. AC Milan trying to sign him on loan with an option to buy. So I think people can understand why Chelsea are not able to sell Hakim Ziyech so far. But coming on to Aubameyang, people know that Aubameyang left Arsenal Football Club at around January when he fell out with Arteta, and then he joined Barcelona. He has done well so far if you consider his form for Barcelona, and he's been a good player for FC Barcelona. The thing with Aubameyang is that at the moment there are rumors that Aubameyang doesn't want to leave Barca because he just joined. But if Barca want him to go, they will let him leave. There are also rumors that Barcelona will only allow one of Depay or Pierre-Emerick Aubameyang to leave. Both of them will not leave in one window. Xavi also prefers for Aubameyang to stay, so that's another killer blow for Chelsea. The Xavi would like Aubameyang to stay as well. And there are more people in the chat as well. And hello, Pester, thank you so much to join. And MS Football is also here. So big up, thank you, sir, to join today. And going on to Pierre-Emerick Aubameyang, Chelsea at the moment are trying to sign him because Chelsea at the moment are low on budget when it comes to a striker because Chelsea will splash around 70 to 75 million on Fofana, which I'll come later in the video. Chelsea will also splash if they sign Frankie de Jong 70 to 75 million, which I'll come later in the video. We already have spent around 180 to 190, I believe 170 to 180 million Chelsea have spent, which means if we sign Frankie de Jong and Fofana, it can be near to 300 million. Also, with that, we have to be honest that only Timo Werner is leaving Chelsea for 20 million. There have not been any major sales in that regards. And sir, I'm from India, from Ambala, Haryana. I'm from India, sir. And going on to Pierre-Emerick Aubameyang and the way Aubameyang has been doing, I think Aubameyang will be a clear signing for Chelsea because he was very good under Thomas Tuchel, if people can remember. He was magnificent under Thomas Tuchel. And for me, he did a fantastic job under Thomas Tuchel at Dortmund. Now, we all know that was German Bundesliga. And we all know that's German Bundesliga as well. So I don't want to take it a bit of pinch of salt about his form there under Tuchel. But Tuchel is getting backed with his own signings, with his own players, with his own philosophy. Sadly, Chelsea were not able to get Dembele because he extended his contract. Sadly, Chelsea were not able to sign Rafinha because he chose Barcelona. But Tuchel is still getting back. De Jong is a Tuchel target and Pierre-Emerick Aubameyang is a Tuchel target. Now, Aubameyang can be priced out for 10 to 15 million, but Barcelona will only allow one of Depay or you can say one of Aubameyang to leave. So either is going to be Depay, either is going to be Aubameyang. Both of them will not going to leave Barcelona. So it's up to Chelsea to do the work earlier and sign him. But on Pierre-Emerick Aubameyang on the final note, Xavi is also the one who wants Aubameyang to stay. So that's sort of the thing I think we need to remember about Pierre-Emerick Aubameyang. For me, it's not the worst deal in the world, but if Chelsea will pay him 300 to 400k, I think that's unacceptable. If he gets around 200 and we sign him for 10 million, I'm more fine with that. But also we have to remember that he will be a short-term solution because he's around 32 to 33 years of age. So MS Football is also from Jammu as well. Big up the user. And going on to second topic today, and the second topic today has on the screen will be to discuss about Wilfried Zaha to Chelsea. Now, Wilfried Zaha has been rumored to Chelsea from the last 3 or 4 days. Some Chelsea, and this is a very reliable source, Simon Phillips has been very, very reliable when it comes to Chelsea news. Do follow him on Twitter, guys. Some Chelsea interest in Wilfried Zaha, and further to this, I'm told that a fee, if we did try to sign him, will be around 25 million. So the question that arises is Zaha worth for 25 million, and should Chelsea take a bit of punt on Wilfried Zaha for 25 million? Now, for me, Wilfried Zaha is a fantastic, fantastic player, in my opinion. A player that's been underachieving in the Premier League. He could have gone to a bigger club. He's a player for me, yes. He's not one of the most talked about player, but I will always say one thing. When Eden Hazard was in the Premier League, I repeat, when Eden Hazard was in the Premier League, Wilfried Zaha and Eden Hazard were the most foul player. He's also a player who's very pacey. He can hold the ball well. He knows about the Premier League. He's Premier League proven. He's good physicality he's got around him. And he has got experience as well and leadership. For me, Wilfried Zaha for 20 million is a much better signing than paying around big money for Aubameyang for 10-15 million. Wilfried Zaha will be a better signing for me in regards to Chelsea going for Aubameyang. Brother, wanna collab with you talking about Barcelona, Premier League, and other transfer? Sure, man. Do contact me on Instagram @ShreeFC. You can also contact me on Twitter @Shree765. So do contact me there, and I'll collab is always open. I'm always open to collab with another creators as well. So Wilfried Zaha, again, as I'm showing you on the news, Wilfried Zaha for 25 million has been rumored to be signing for Chelsea, and Wilfried Zaha can be an amazing, amazing signing for Chelsea in my opinion. For me, 25 million should be a no-brainer. Yes, he's 29-year-old, which people will throw off. That 29-year-old is a massive, massive age, and Chelsea should not be going after him. But in my opinion, Wilfried Zaha is a Premier League proven player and can do a job for Chelsea. I think I do not trust Kai Havertz leading the line for Chelsea, and I do not trust the other players we've got in the lineup to provide us a proper goal. This is why, for me, the biggest concern for me, Chelsea, is the striking options. And for me, I don't want to go to the Lukaku route where we sign a target man and it doesn't work. Wilfried Zaha is a much better player. He can play as a false nine. He can play on the wings. He's pacey. He can hold the ball well. He's got a good first touch, and he can also play good passing football. For me, Wilfried Zaha is a no-brainer if Chelsea can get him. And I'll prefer Wilfried Zaha. I'm sorry, but I'll prefer Wilfried Zaha over Pierre-Emerick Aubameyang and over Memphis Depay. But in the end, we also have to remember the pinch of salt that he will be a short-term solution at the age of 29, and he will give us max to max 3 good years, 4 good years, and that's it in my opinion. And show by show, DM me on the Instagram. My team is dependent on 38-year-old, 29 is nothing to compare to that. But Danish bhai, I think Ronaldo and Zaha are incomparable when it comes to the legacy they've got. I think Wilfried Zaha has only played at a club where there was pressure very less on him, on his shoulders. At Chelsea, the whole media in the world will be after him. The whole fan base in the whole the world will be after him. So I think it's a big, big difference to from Ronaldo to Zaha. But for me, for 25 million or 20 million, I think Wilfried Zaha is a no-brainer for Chelsea. And it's much better option to play forward as compared to Kai Havertz or the other option Chelsea have got. For me, either you keep Armando Broga and develop him, or you sign Wilfried Zaha. Because people have to remember that Wilfried Zaha can also play on the wings. Wilfried Zaha can also play as a striker. And for me, Wilfried Zaha as a Chelsea transfer is a no-brainer for me and will be an amazing, amazing deal by Chelsea for 20 million pounds. Going on to the next rumor today for you guys. And the next rumor that Chelsea have got is about Frankie de Jong. So Frankie de Jong is a transfer that's been dragging on for 2-3 months now. He was rumored to be joining Manchester United. At first, reports were coming that he rejected Manchester United for the Champions League football. Then the reports were that Erik ten Hag has convinced him to come to his project. There was also think that he wants to stay at Barcelona. There were rumors that Barcelona wants to get him out. But now it's only becoming more and more problem to get him out of Barcelona. Now we also got a reports that Barcelona trying to criminalize the previous agreement with Frankie de Jong. They are literally trying to criminalize it, the previous agreement, because they say that the previous ownership did it in the wrong way. So Frankie de Jong's saga is a big, big difficult. And for me, it could take till and day to solve it. So in the above transfer rumor, if you can see from the source as well, Frankie de Jong sees Chelsea and Bayern Munich as good options if he eventually decides to leave Barcelona. But the player remains firm in his desire to stay. So at the moment, for me, it's very, very clear that Frankie de Jong at the moment wants to stay at Barcelona. and it's going to take a lot to convince him to come to a club. The problem for me, in an honest way, that I've got with players like Frankie de Jong is I think he's dragging too long and he's taking it too long. I don't know why he's doing that. Whether he really wants to stay at Barcelona, whether he's trying to do it for wages. I really don't know what's the reason that he's dragging this thing for so long. But I think that's the only concern I've got regarding him. That's the only concern I've got thing regarding Frankie de Jong. Because for me, I'm not very sure why he's dragging this all. Is it because he wants to get his rightful salary? Or does he really want to stay at Barcelona? If he wants to stay at Barcelona, then he can even stay for a wage cut as well. So I'm not understanding that what's going on. If he really loves Barcelona, he wants to just stay at Barcelona, wants to complete his dream, then for me, he will take a wage cut and stay up there. But if he doesn't want to stay at Barcelona and he wants to sue them for the rightful salary they're not giving him, then it's only going to drag and it's going to put Barcelona deal with Bernardo Silva in trouble, and it's only going to put Manchester United in trouble, and it's only going to waste the time of Chelsea. So this is the only problem I've got for Frankie de Jong. And for me, the only message I've got for Chelsea Football Club is only pursue the Frankie de Jong deal if he really wants to come here for me, because it's taking too long. You don't want to be stuck on one option till August 31, and then in the end point he rejects that and stays as Barcelona. There were also rumors that were coming today that Joan Laporta wants both Frankie de Jong and along with that Bernardo Silva to play together for Barcelona. He just wants Frankie de Jong to take a wage cut. So if Frankie de Jong takes a wage cut at Barcelona, Barcelona don't want to sell him. It's only going to drag, and I think Chelsea and United are putting themselves in big trouble, being again and again linked with this player. I think it's legal consultant or agent who will neither let him leave 17 million nor take a salary cut. I think that's the only problem, Danish bhai. I think he's right in his way. He doesn't want to take a salary cut, and also he's right in his way to take his deferred wages. But on the other hand, no club is going to pay that 18, 17 million on his own, and Barcelona are not going to let that salary deter their transfer plan this season. And already they had to activate so many levers. They won't want to pay the 18 million to Frankie de Jong in deferred wages. So simply to say, Barcelona want Frankie de Jong to take a wage cut, and they want him to stay at the club if he takes a wage cut. Frankie de Jong wants to stay at Barcelona, but he wants Barcelona to pay his salary, that's 18 million. This is why Barcelona are criminalizing the case so that they don't have to pay the wages. United, on the other hand, want to sign him because he solves a lot of their midfield issues. Chelsea, on the other hand, want to sign Frankie de Jong because the midfield of Chelsea is very, very old. Jorginho is around 31, Kante is around 31. They both have only 1 year left on contract, and Frankie de Jong is a player Tuchel has admired from his PSG days. But the problem is, Barcelona have to sell Frankie de Jong if they want to sign Bernardo Silva. But Frankie de Jong wants to stay at Barcelona, but he wants his rightful salary. The clubs are not ready to pay what Barcelona want, which is around 85 to 90 million. And this is why this has been dragging on for 3 months. And for me, as you can see here, Frankie de Jong will not deny leaving for Bayern Munich or Chelsea. He will like to go to Chelsea, a Champions League playing club, or Barcelona. But the problem is, again, you read the last line, but the player remains firm in his desire to stay. And for me, when a player has been so firm for the whole window that he wants to stay at the club, I think it's only wasting our time to again and again keep going for him, begging him to come here. There were also rumors that Todd Bowley had a phone call with Frankie de Jong to come to Chelsea. He took interest in Chelsea and he has no problem in coming to Chelsea. But Frankie de Jong was firm that he wants to stay at Barcelona. We all know that Frankie de Jong is a Barcelona fan. He has a childhood dream to play for Barcelona. Like you saw with players like Rafinha, players like Koundé, all the players always prefer Barcelona over any other club. And for me, that's the only problem with Chelsea Football Club, in my opinion. And I think if Frankie de Jong does not want to come or he creates problem, go after another deal. Because for me, it's going to take a lot of time to get him out of there. But yes, if we can get Frankie de Jong for 60 to 70 million, it's a good deal. And he's a very, very intelligent player, in my opinion. Going on to the next transfer rumor for today, guys. And the transfer rumor next is about Chelsea and Fofana to Chelsea. Now, Fofana saga has been dragging on for some time as well. Simon Phillips is a very reliable person, and the source has also been reliable. Chelsea growing in confidence over Wesley Fofana transfer. Only around 10 million in fee separating the values of Chelsea and Leicester. Now, so Fofana at the moment, I can say one thing is very, very close to signing for Chelsea, in my opinion. And for me, it's just about playing the price. That's about Chelsea need to pay. I think Chelsea, you can see, has here given that the two clubs are separating each other on around 10 million. Leicester City, for me, want around 90 million pounds for Wesley Fofana. They want Chelsea to pay them 90 million pounds for Wesley Fofana. Chelsea want to pay near to 75 to 80. And this is where both clubs are disagreeing. Now, people have to also understand that Leicester Football Club need money this window. Leicester City have not even signed one player. Again, I'm repeating, Leicester City this window have not even signed one player this window. And Leicester City have to earn some money if they want to sign some players. Leicester will have to sell either Madison, either Barnes, either some of the players if they want to raise some money, or else the squad is going to remain the same. Wesley Fofana has been absolutely clear he wants to go to Chelsea. He even deleted Leicester City from his Twitter bio. He has been putting cryptic Instagram messages as well. And Wesley Fofana is very interested to come to Chelsea, but it's about Chelsea holding their firm against Leicester City. Leicester City won 90 to 85 million pounds in between. Chelsea want to pay between 75 to 80 million, and that's a 10 million price difference that Chelsea are finding themselves fighting against Leicester City. That 10 million difference is a big one, and the 10 million difference is the only difference that keeping Frankie de Jong from coming to Chelsea or staying at Leicester. For me, with all the rumors removing Leicester City from his bio, Wesley Fofana will not stay at Leicester. After all that has happened, I think Leicester will let Wesley Fofana go, and Leicester will try to develop a bit more players. For me, a bit of this deal has been slowed down because Levy Colwill has gone to Brighton. I think Leicester City wanted Levy Colwill to play at the centre back and let Fofana go to another club. Because we let Levy Colwill go to Brighton and got Cucurella in exchange, I think this is why Leicester City are a bit, for me, a bit salty, and Leicester City wants a replacement done before they sell Fofana. For me, if two clubs are only differentiating on 10 million price tag and a Chelsea club that earns million every day, I think Chelsea is a club that will be ready to pay the 10 million and get the deal done. Simply to say, the difference between both the teams in price valuation is 10 million. If Chelsea pay 85 million, deal will be agreed. Leicester City want 85, Chelsea want to pay 75, and I think in between they're not able to agree right now. But mark my words, Chelsea will sign Fofana, and I think they will sign it for 80 million. And do not even be surprised that, like Cucurella, this deal might be agreed just before the Spurs game. The only thing with Wesley Fofana I will say is 80 million a big price? Should Chelsea pay 80 million pounds for Wesley Fofana? Is he at the level of Van Dijk was? Is he at the level of top centre backs in the world are? Is he the next player Chelsea need? For me, I admire Fofana. Fofana is an amazing player. He has got good pace in him. He has got good physical build in him. He has also got good ball playing ability. He has got good interception. He's a player who's very rarely dribble pass by. And Fofana is an amazing player, along with being Premier League proven and also only 21 years of age, which means he's going to give you return on investment for the next 5 or 6 years. But the only problem that Wesley Fofana is going to give Chelsea is the injury concerns, and did that ACL injury that he got last year is serious and is going to hamper his development, or that was just one-off. That's the only con, and a club like Chelsea have a lot of doctors and they're also very aware which players to sign or not. So that is why if Chelsea want Fofana, if Tuchel want Fofana, for me, I don't give a damn if Chelsea want to pay 80 million for Fofana, 100 for Fofana, 90 for Fofana. If Tuchel wants Fofana, if Todd Bowley thinks that Fofana is the next future of young centre-backs, I think they should go and get him. And I do think that the way Todd Bowley has been working in the market, what team needs, the money they have asked, he has paid that. For me, Chelsea will agree this deal in some time, and Fofana will become a Chelsea player in some due course of time. Moving to the next rumors, guys, and the next rumor for you to talk about is around just shifting the screen, apologies, and that's about Hudson Ooi, and Hudson Ooi on the verge of leaving Chelsea. Now, Callum Hudson-Odoi in the transfer window came early. He trained early. He came to the pre-season earlier, has compared to other players. And I think he put a good impression on Thomas Tuchel as well. But his performances were not the level where you require it to be. I think that's the only problem with Hudson-Odoi. His performance level was not just good in my opinion. I think Chelsea could opt to sell Callum Hudson-Odoi this summer amid Borussia Dortmund interest. And this is by a very reliable source in Nizar Kinsella. Nizar Kinsella is one of the most reliable Chelsea sources you'll find on internet. He is the most reliable Chelsea source, and I think Nizar Kinsella has said that, and it's been very true as well. I think Borussia Dortmund have been interested in Callum Hudson-Odoi for a long time. They last year also wanted to sign Callum Hudson-Odoi on loan, but Tuchel was the one who refused the deal. So Tuchel was the person last year who refused Callum Hudson-Odoi to go to Dortmund. Marina Gunnar agreed a deal with Borussia Dortmund to let them have Callum Hudson-Odoi on loan, but it was Thomas Tuchel who wanted him to stay as a backup. But again, Dortmund are back for their player, and Dortmund are very motivated to get Hudson-Odoi, whether permanently, whether on loan. Now, Callum Hudson-Odoi is all, Chelsea already have a lot of attackers, Mount, Havertz. Chelsea already have players like Sterling. Chelsea are looking to buy Wilfred Zaha. Chelsea are looking to try to sign Pierre-Emerick Aubameyang. Chelsea still have players like even Conor Gallagher in the team. Chelsea have signed players like Chukwuemeka. I think Chelsea are trying to sell most of the players, and at the moment, Werner, Hakim Ziyech, Callum Hudson-Odoi are the three players that are being rumored to leave Chelsea. My final thoughts on Odoi in terms of should Chelsea let him go or not is I think Odoi was a player that always impressed me. Odoi was a player who I was absolutely, you can say, fall in love with. He was very good when he came to Chelsea under Maurizio Sarri at first. I think he was very talented. He used to have that burst of pace. He used to go after 2-3 defenders. I can never forget the way he treated Hector Bellerin. He made an absolute toast out of Hector Bellerin in the preseason. And he had a pace in him. He used to have the electrifying pace that used to get him away from 2 or 3 players. Now, after he suffered that injury against Burnley, Callum Hudson-Odoi has never been the same player. He has lost that pace. Callum Hudson-Odoi has lost the touch. Callum Hudson-Odoi has lost that pace where he goes after 1 or 2 or 3 players and has lost that ability to take on. And once a player loses his ability to take on and that electrifying pace, I think it's a massive, massive problem. And Callum Hudson-Odoi has only been used by Thomas Tuchel at right wing back. It's very rare that Thomas Tuchel has tried him at wings. So this means that Thomas Tuchel only rates Callum Hudson-Odoi as a right wing back. And even right now, Ruben Loftus-Cheek has taken over that position. I think sadly, Odoi is a player I will always think he's very talented. And if Chelsea are letting him go permanently, for me, insert a buyback clause. If Chelsea are letting him go on loan, I think it's a fantastic deal. Let him go, develop at Dortmund, come back much better, and be Chelsea's most important attacker next season. But for me, at the moment, I'll just agree that Callum Hudson-Odoi has to be allowed to leave Chelsea. He has to develop his own career. Callum Hudson-Odoi has to also be get out of the books as well for Chelsea. And there's no benefit keeping him, not paying him, and only getting an unhappy player on the books. Let him go. If he goes permanently, put a buyback clause in. If he goes on loan, extend his contract and let him have some game time. Let him develop. Let him have the touch back, confidence back, and do not just make him sit on the bench. So for me, it's a right deal for all the parties, and it's in no way a disaster. So going on towards the next news for today, and the next news for today I want to talk about is about Kyle Walker-Peters, and he has been rumored to be coming to Chelsea for a long, long time. These rumors started when Chelsea were rumored with signing Cucurella. That Chelsea have been interested in Southampton's Kyle Walker-Peters, but they favor a move for Inter Milan's Denzel Dumfries. However, Inter are yet to receive a bid. Thomas Tuchel wants a right wing back to compete with Reece James. I think this news came out 1 week back as well, but it's again resurfaced. I think we all know that Chelsea have been after Denzel Dumfries for a long time, but Inter Milan are demanding 50 million, while Walker-Peters will be available for 20 million. Now the problem is, I think Chelsea have already created a very, very good position in terms of left wing back. I think Chilwell and Cucurella is going to be an amazing competition this season. Chilwell and Cucurella are going to fight each other, equal players, and I think Cucurella is going to give Chilwell a fight for his money when it comes to getting into the team, getting some chances to the play. So I think he's going to do a fantastic job, Chilwell, along with Cucurella. But Chelsea cannot spend another 60 million on right wing back backup. And I think Kyle Walker-Peters will be brought as a substitute, you can say, for Reece James, or to play in the cup games or some championship games. Now, as much as I've seen of Kyle Walker-Peters, he's a very clever player. He's short-heighted, but he's quick. He makes the right movements. He crosses well, and he could be a very good option when it comes to replacing Reece James. Now, Ruben Loftus-Cheek is more of a midfielder who struggles to attack at right wing back, while Kyle Walker-Peters will overlap and will create a good partnership and will be a good Reece James backup. And for me, just signing it for 20 million, that's 100 times a better deal than signing Dumfries. This could be a very deal for Chelsea and also be a very, very good option for Reece James backup. The only problem is Chelsea are after Frankie de Jong. Chelsea are after signing, we have already signed Cucurella for 60 million. We're after signing Fofana as well. We're also linked to Aubameyang, Depay or Zaha. So I don't think so many players are possible in just one window. So that could be a major problem for Chelsea. So going on towards the next news for today. So guys, please, before I go to the next news, please support the channel, like and subscribe, hit the bell notification button. Please keep supporting the channel, guys, and please keep motivating me to keep becoming better in this demand and bringing the content for you. So going on towards the next news today, and the next news that has come out, and the next news is regarding Marcus Alonso, who is on the verge to sign for Barcelona. Marcus Alonso will leave Chelsea for Barcelona for 8 million, including add-ons on a 2-year contract. with options of a further year. Now, many people have been very, very happy that Marcus Alonso is leaving. I think many people at Chelsea have not liked him. Many people hate Marcus Alonso's pace. Many people say that he's very slow, he's not ready for the league. For me, Marcus Alonso is a player. I can sum it up for you in just a simple sentence. Marcus Alonso makes an error and you get angry. What the heck this guy is doing? Why he cannot cover up? He's defensively bad. And then within 20-30 seconds, he will have a chance for a free kick and he will score that free kick. And then most of the Chelsea fans will go, this is one of the most talented left back we have in the world. Why we don't play him as a striker? I think that's the way you sum up Marcus Alonso. Marcus Alonso for me is one of, if not the most talented left back when it comes to scoring you will ever see. He was such good when it comes to scoring for Chelsea, that clutch moments. He was also a big game player for Chelsea. If you remember, in the Carabao Cup final, he kept Mohamed Salah quiet for most of the game. He did a fantastic job in the first Carabao Cup game as well, and he did a fantastic job, in my opinion, against Real Madrid as well. So whenever Chelsea have required Marcus Alonso to step in big games, he has always stepped up in the big occasion. When Chelsea have required him to be Chelsea's pioneer, he has always been that. Ben Chilwell last year at some points was injured, and Alonso did not do a great job, but did a fine job of replacing him. In the bigger games, I've rarely seen Marcus Alonso put a foot wrong, and he has been a clutch player for Chelsea who scores in the big games, and he's a player who's made for the bigger games on the bigger occasion. But now, coming on to a bit of weakness for Marcus Alonso and why he did not work for Chelsea. The problem with Marcus Alonso is, first problem, he cannot play in a back four. You have to play him in a back three or else there's no benefit. Second problem with Marcus Alonso was the lack of pace that he got. Because Marcus Alonso had a lack of pace, Chelsea defensive transition used to be very weak. He used to be caught out and a lot of pressure used to be on the other centre back to cover him. And because we have got a midfield, Jorginho, Kante, who are not proper DMs, I think Chelsea used to be bypassed very easily, and Marcus Alonso had no pace to cover up. Now coming up to attacking department, and as much as Marcus Alonso was very good with his feet, he was very good with his heading and scoring, he was not very good with his crossing, and he was not very good when it comes to pace. So he could not dribble past a player, so he used to rely on going back passing. People used to be very frustrated with Marcus Alonso. When he used to have the ball, he passes back. He never tries to dribble a player, take him on, go to the touchline like Chilwell does, and put it in the box. Marcus Alonso tries to go, he runs into the box. Whenever Marcus Alonso is there, what he tries to do is, he's not at the left, he goes at the center, because he wants to be on the end of the crosses. But because he wants to be on the end of the crosses, Chelsea have no threat from the left. Chelsea have no player that will take the touch from Mason Mount and make an overlapping run. Marcus Alonso doesn't do that, while Ben Chilwell, players like Robertson at Liverpool do that. Robertson has a very good link up with Luis Diaz. He passes to Diaz, overlapping run, and that creates a lot of space for them. And this is why Chelsea have went with Cucurella, more pacey player, a better defensive player as compared to Marcus Alonso. On my final thoughts on Marcus Alonso, he is an amazing player for Chelsea. He has been a clutch player for Chelsea, and he is a very clutch player for Chelsea who I'll always admire. I think I will never have any bad word to say. I will always have respect for Marcus Alonso, and any fan, whether you mind it or not, disrespecting him, abusing him, and saying that Chelsea have done a good job letting him go, I think it's not right. This is a player who has been a big part of Chelsea for what he has done. But on the other hand, I do think that it was time for him to leave, and it did not suit the back three system. And sadly, the lack of pace Marcus Alonso has got does not allow Chelsea to play at his full potential. And we are defensively caught a lot, and we do not have the overlapping threats for fullback what Chilwell provides. Chelsea's best football under Thomas Tuchel came when we beat Juventus, when we beat Leicester City, when we beat City in the final. And in all three matches, it was Chilwell playing and not Alonso. And this is the only reason I want Marcus Alonso to leave, Cucurella to be the next Chelsea left wing back along with Chilwell. But along with that, I will only have love for Marcus Alonso. There's some other comments as well. Barca is building a squad to tackle Real Madrid and doing great in that. If given a chance, you will be happy to swap Mendy for Neuer. I think Neuer is, see, let's be honest, Neuer is one of, if not the greatest goalkeeper we have seen, along with the likes of Peter Cech, Edwin van der Sar, Michael. I think he's one of the greatest goalkeepers you will ever see. I think nobody in the world will say no to Ronaldo or Messi. I don't think any person will say no for Manuel Neuer. I love Edward Mendy to absolute bits, but Manuel Neuer is one of, if not the greatest goalkeeper we'll see in the world. And I think if given a chance, yes, but I do love Edward Mendy a lot. So going on towards the next piece of news that's arrived for Chelsea today. And this is the next piece of news for Chelsea. This is about Sarr. Now, Malang Sarr has been rumored to leave Chelsea for some time. Many people were thinking that Thomas Tuchel was preferring him over Levy Colwill, but now Levy Colwill has been only allowed to go on loan, while Malang Sarr will be leaving Chelsea permanently. Now you can see on the above rumor, Chelsea included a 15 million obligation to buy for the transfer of Malang Sarr to Monaco if certain conditions are met. So you can see that high appearance is a big reason that Chelsea will try to get this obligation met. So if we get that 15 million, Malang Sarr is a player Chelsea signed for free. So a player that Chelsea signed for free, if he earned the big bucks on that, I think it's a fantastic work for Chelsea. Coming on to Malang Sarr, I think Malang Sarr has not been a disaster for Chelsea in any way. He's not been that bad of a player. I think whenever required, he has always stepped up for Chelsea, and I have nothing but good words to say about Malang Sarr. Only thing I will say about Malang Sarr is that he was not capable to play at a club like Chelsea. He was very rash with his passing. He was very rash with his decision making. I think Malang Sarr, whenever he used to have the ball, he used to be absolutely scary with that. He used to give it back to the opponents. And he was a good person if you want to play counter-attacking football. But in a possession-based team, your defender being very bad on the ball is the worst part you require. And along with that, Malang Sarr used to be also very, you can say, rashy with the defending, sometimes making unnecessary tackles, being in the wrong position. And at a club like Chelsea, where every point means a lot, every trophy means a lot, Malang Sarr was never going to make it at Chelsea. And sadly, I think it was the right decision to let him go. And I think even as a backup, I'll rather have a young Levy Colwill, who I think has a more progression rate than Sarr. But on the other hand, on my final note on Malang Sarr part, I think I will have nothing but respect for Malang Sarr. And I do think that whenever he was required, he tried his best and he still did a good job for Chelsea. So going on to some other news for Chelsea as well. But before going on to other news, people who are watching the show, please like, please subscribe, and please keep supporting the channel, guys. It means a lot if you support the channel. Anyone watching, it doesn't take a second. Please do subscribe and support the channel, and please keep helping the channel to grow. And taking some another chat as well. Don't you think Bernardo Lubasso will reduce the gap between City and Liverpool? I think Pep will jump back in the market. I think once City let Bernardo Silva go, I think Liverpool are main contenders to win the league. I think letting Bernardo Silva go and letting Sterling go, letting Gabriel Jesus go, and not having the pace on the wings, and I think Liverpool City will be absolutely exposed. And I think if Danish by City do that, I think City are letting Liverpool come back in the race for me. And there's another one. Hello, Shribai. Hello, Abhishek Bhai. Hope you are well and good. Thank you so much, Abhishek Bhai, to join today. And going on to other news, today for the guys, the other news is this. This is about Edward Mendy, the news that has come about Edward Mendy today. So, Chelsea have opened talks with Edward Mendy over a new contract. Mendy is happy at Chelsea and is keen to get something done as soon as possible, but is hoping to get a significant pay rise as he's currently one of the lowest earners in the team. I've been telling this thing to people for a long time, that a lot of people are going to demand some wages as well. Mendy is really underpaid, and Chelsea have not paid him the right salary in my opinion, and Mendy deserves something big. Mendy is Chelsea's first team goalkeeper, and a first team goalkeeper will demand some good money as well. For me, I do want to keep Edward Mendy, and Chelsea need to pay him the good money he needs. Edward Mendy for me is one of the best shot stopper goalkeeper in the world. He's very good from the corners, he's very good from the set pieces. And Edward Mendy, yes, he's a bit doubtful, he's a bit, you can say, suspect when it comes to his feet. He might not be good when it comes to passing, but on the other hand, he's still one of the most talented goalkeeper in the world, just at the age of 29. For goalkeepers, 29 is a very young age, and I think Chelsea need to do everything we can to keep Edward Mendy at the club. For me, he wants a pay rise, but his salary is already less than 100k. When players like Ross Barkley, Kepa Arrizabalaga are earning big money at the club, Edward Mendy being at less than 100k is an absolute disaster. For me, Chelsea have to do everything we can to give big contracts to Mount, big contract to James, big contract to players like Edward Mendy. If we let this core go, if we let this spine go, we will regret it in years to come. And for me, Mendy will stay at Chelsea for the connection he has with the fans and overall the way Chelsea have trusted him as well. And I do think Chelsea will extend the contract of Edward Mendy as well. So digging on some chats, to watch Ismail Sarr goal, that was fantastic goal. I saw that, Abhishek Bhai. That was a beautiful goal, Abhishek Bhai. And I'm also surprised as well that nobody went for him. I'm really surprised because I think because Watford have been relegated to the championship, he would have been available for a cut price and might have been available for around 20 to 15 million. And I think Ismail Sarr would have been a fantastic signing. But I think whenever he has come to the Premier League, Abhishek Bhai, he has not performed well. So I think that might be a bit more doubt among the people who want to buy him. So going on to the next piece of news today, guys, and the next piece of news today is about Timo Werner leaving Chelsea. And I think this is the news I think we all have been expecting for a very long time. because Timo Werner fell out with Thomas Tuchel, many say, after the FA Cup final. I think in the FA Cup final, people remember that Thomas Tuchel in his press conference said that Timo Werner was injured and not ready to play, while many people on the sources on the Twitter have claimed that Timo Werner was fit and he wanted to play. So I think Thomas Tuchel and Werner have fell out with each other from a long time ago, and Werner overall has always had the trust of Chelsea fans, but has also made Chelsea fans lose their patience a lot. And with Mount, Sterling, Havertz already so much ahead of him, this is no surprise that Timo Werner is being rumored to leave. Chelsea and RB Leipzig have signed the contract for Timo Werner deal, all completed, and he's been signed for 20 million granted plus some add-ons. Now many people are saying that the add-ons will be combined, and that could be a deal around 25 million around the deal will go on. And full agreement was reached during the weekend. Werner will undergo medical test later today. So I think it's been clear for a long time that Timo Werner is going to leave Chelsea. It's been clear for a long time. Now my thoughts on Timo Werner, and is it a good decision to let him leave? So before coming to Timo Werner, telling about his pros and cons, and is it a good decision, I will have nothing but respect for this guy. I think this guy, in his first interview for Chelsea, said, I have come to Chelsea to win the Champions League. People laughed at him. People made fun of him. People said, how has he come to Chelsea? And 40 people watching. Thank you so much, Abhishek Bhai. And people who are watching, please do hit the like button and subscribe to the channel if you haven't. And please keep supporting the channel, guys. Thank you, Abhishek Bhai. And for me, going about Timo Werner, guys, the thing I will say about Timo Werner is that this guy, in his first interview when he was signed for Chelsea, he said two very clear things. I've come to Chelsea to win the Champions League, and I will do everything to please the fans. And I think this guy also said that I don't know that why Chelsea fans keep supporting me even after I miss chances, and it means a lot to me as well. He also apologized to Frank Lampard and said that I might have been a person that was responsible for his sacking. How nice of a professional this guy is. He's such a good guy. He has always given his everything for Chelsea. And for me, I will have nothing but respect for Timo Werner. But now I want to go with analysis as well about Timo Werner. So going on analysis for Timo Werner, for me, the problem with Timo Werner, guys, the problem with Timo Werner in cons is as much as he's got good pace, he needs space to work in. He needs space where he can make running behind the players, and like he used to have in Bundesliga. In Bundesliga, there used to be a lot of high press, which means that Leipzig were able to intercept the pass. Timo Werner was mostly one-on-one with the keeper, and he used to have 3 or 4 chances per game, where he used to convert one chance at least, and he pulled off 34-35 goals in the Bundesliga. Now in Premier League, you have to play a lot with the park in the bus. In the Premier League, a lot of teams are deep. A lot of teams, especially in the bottom half, have 6'5" centre-backs in there as well. And Timo Werner, I'm sorry, I love him to bits, is one of the worst technical footballer I've seen at Chelsea in my life. He's one of the worst technical footballer I've seen. Sadly, he cannot dribble. Sadly, Timo Werner does not have a good first touch. I can never forget Newcastle match where Jorginho made a very good pass. He was one-on-one with the goalkeeper, and his first touch from around 30 yards away from goal took the ball near to the goalkeeper as compared to himself. His first touch is horrific. He cannot dribble. He cannot take set pieces, and his finishing is very inconsistent. And he needs 3 or 4 chances a game to put it into the net. That's the only concern for me I've got about Timo Werner in cons, and I think this is why it's the right decision to let him leave. If people can observe well, I think people will agree that Timo Werner's best performance for Chelsea has come in the Champions League. Best performances of Timo Werner at Chelsea have come in the Champions League. His performance against Real Madrid all the 3 times, his performance against Atletico Madrid, his performance against, you can say, in the final as well. Timo Werner, best part of Chelsea has come in the Champions League. Why? Because in the Champions League, you play high quality opponents. When you play Manchester City, they will take the attack to you. They're not going to be defensive. Whenever you play Real Madrid, they will never be defensive against Chelsea because that will hurt their pride. When you play against Atletico Madrid, they are only sitting back and doing nothing. When you play against the likes of Juventus, they will not sit back and give you the chance to counter. This is why Timo Werner has been amazing for Chelsea when it comes to Champions League competitions, Champions League matches. But the problem with Timo Werner is that he has been an absolutely horrific player in terms of Premier League. Why? Because he does not have the technical ability. He cannot pass the ball. He cannot take a first good touch. He cannot be technical and dribble past players. He cannot cross the ball into the box. And because he cannot dribble, he cannot get past 2 or 3 players. And because he cannot dribble, he cannot create a chance for himself as well. And Chelsea is also a team that does not create like what City do, create 6-7 chances a game. So Timo Werner only has like 1 or 2 chances a game. He misses all of them, and his goal tally mostly at the end of every match is 0 goals. While at Leipzig, he used to get 4 or 5 chances. At a team like City, he will get 4 or 5 chances. So when as a player you get 4 or 5 chances a game, you are expected to at least convert one. At Chelsea, he gets 2 chances, he converts zero. And along with not having technical skills, not able to do something on his own, I think it's an absolute disaster in that terms. And this is why I think it's a good decision to let Timo Werner leave. But coming on and taking some chats here, Werner goes against Real Madrid in the UCL. I think that was one of the best games Timo Werner had for Chelsea. And I think we deserve to go to the next round. But I think it was Modric and rest is history. But I think Timo Werner was fantastic against Real Madrid. And people need to respect him more for that. I think Timo Werner has some amazing matches at Chelsea. And people at least can respect him a lot more in my opinion. Werner had never lost a game in UCL for Chelsea. 13 wins, 6 draws, and 1 UCL title. And Football Freak, sir, I also said this thing. Timo Werner for Chelsea is still a very, very good Champions League player. Because in the Champions League, we play against the likes of City, Liverpool, where he will have space to work in. But sadly, when you'll be playing Nottingham Forest, you will be playing Newcastle, you will be playing Bournemouth, Fulham, you won't have space to work. They're not going to be laid down for Chelsea and allowing us to win 4 or 5-0. And this is why he could not work in the Premier League. Never seen him cutting defenders and never dribble. Horrible first touch. This is the thing that I've been saying. As much as he's got great running, he has got great movement. I think I have never seen him cutting past players like an inside forward, dribbling. And I think that's the biggest weakness Timo Werner has got in his game. Now, for me, on my final note on Timo Werner and to say about the good games he's had for Chelsea, for me, Timo Werner's game against Southampton at start was magnificent. That was one of the best games he played. His finishing was beautiful in that game, and that game was the start. For me, his second great game for Chelsea came up against Atletico Madrid. He ran, he put his socks off, won the ball back against Atletico Madrid defender. Then he ran, put a cross into the box, and Hakim Ziyech made it 1-0 Chelsea. And because we were only 1-0 up on aggregate, it was nervous in the stadium as well. And that first goal put the tie away from Atletico Madrid. His second best beautiful match came against Manchester City and Liverpool. He was very good against Liverpool, but sadly his finishing was bad. And Chelsea went on to beat Liverpool at Anfield 1-0. His third best game for Chelsea came against Ruben Diaz, and he made some very, very good movement. I think people who saw the Champions League final goal will remember that Timo Werner ran this side. He took Ruben Diaz with him, which made space available for Kai Havertz to be one-on-one with the goalkeeper. That's what you call great movement. That game against Real Madrid, that goal against Southampton in the 3-1 victory, I think they are having some beautiful games of Timo Werner. And the 2 games against Real Madrid last season as well, he was very threatening. But sadly, all the games that I've talked to you about, only 2 of them are the Premier League games. Other than that, all the games I'm talking to you about are the Champions League game. In the Premier League, Timo Werner in 2 seasons has only had 2 or 3 games, where 2 of them were against Southampton and 1 of them was against high-pressing team in Liverpool. And I think that tells you the story. Sadly, he did not have the technical ability to be at Chelsea, the technical prowess to be at Chelsea, and he used to rely a lot on space, which was not provided to him in the Premier League. And this is why I think it's a good decision to let him leave, let him develop his career, and let him go somewhere while we get some another player as well. And let him play against us, and he will look like a great striker. I think I will say one thing, because Ten Hag plays attacking football, Werner will cook against United. But problem is, he can only do well against opponents who try to attack you and not defend. But Leipzig attackers next season, Andre Silva, Werner, Forsberg, and Kuku Paulsen. I think that's fantastic football freaks. So the only problem with Leipzig is that do not be surprised if Nkunku goes to Bayern next season and some of the players leave as well. That's the only problem, that many teams are not able to compete in the Bundesliga. And your thoughts on Bernardo Silva to Barca and impact on City. I think he's asking football freaks, who is a Manchester City fan. All of them bang average except Nkunku. I think Nkunku, I do agree, but in Bundesliga, Abhishek bhai, these players are fantastic. In Bundesliga, they have a lot of space to work in. And in Bundesliga, Abhishek bhai, I do think these players will do very, very well in my opinion. And on my last note on last part on Timo Werner, people have been saying that it's an absolute loss that Chelsea are making on this deal. It's not a loss. We signed him for £48 million, which is big. See, people, we will be making a loss on Timo Werner. Again and again, I repeat, we will be making a loss on Timo Werner but that's not as huge as people are making it out. Timo Werner was signed for 48 million, and now we are letting him go for 20 to 25 million. Yes, it's a loss, but people are not understanding the wages we have also let go. Timo Werner still had a 2-year contract left, and we were paying him 270k per week, which means Chelsea now will save at least 1 million a month, and we'll save at least 1 million a month, and we'll at least save 24 to 25 million in wages. Because if Timo Werner stayed at Chelsea, we will have to pay him 270k wages for that. So Chelsea have let go of the wages, which means the wage structure is a bit more empty, which allows more signings to come in. Along with that, we've got some transfer fee as well. And for me, yes, it's a loss, but it's not as big loss as people are making it out to be. So for me, it's a good deal. Let him go and develop at Bundesliga. Let him go to the league he likes. And I love Timo Werner to bits. One of the most professional guy I've seen play for my club. But sadly, as a footballer, he did not have the abilities to be playing at Premier League at a high level. And this is why I think he will be allowed to leave from Chelsea. And now I will be discussing Chelsea news one by one in a quick way before I end the video. So before I do that, please people do like on the content, subscribe, please support the channel, and people please do like the content so more people can join and we can have a great interaction. Morata being linked with United, your opinion? I think Morata will be a good signing. I think people might say Morata is a very talented footballer. I think whose mentality has never been at the right place. He is a very, very good footballer, Danish Bhai, whose ability is no question, but his mentality is a big question. That's the only problem with Morata. He just sits on the ground, keeps crying. The biggest problem that I had with Morata at Chelsea is whenever he used to be tackled, he used to just sleep on the ground, be angry. No, don't tackle me. That used to be the thing with Morata. But as a technical footballer, he's a more technical footballer than Timo Werner. His finishing is like Timo Werner, but the thing with Morata is if you give him 3 chances, he will put 1 in net. He's also a very, very good header of the ball. He's also very good in link up of the play as well. He has also got good pace in him. The only problem with Alvaro Morata is he's pathetic with his feet. He's pathetic with his finishing when it comes to his feet. And Morata's attitude is the biggest problem in my opinion. But it's not a bad deal. And Morata is 100 times a better signing than what Arnautovic is. And Claudio Pizarro, Bundesliga legend, look like Yaya Sanogo in the Premier League. Yeah, I think the thing is, I do think some of the Bundesliga teams are great. Frankfurt won the Europa League as well last year. But I think the space offered in the league, Abhishek Bhai, is just too much, which allows a lot of attackers to enjoy themselves. And Messi to Barca, I do see that happening, but next year. But at the moment, I think he will love to do something big with PSG. I think Messi will want to leave a legacy where he want to show people that, see, I have also won something out of Barcelona. And do not be surprised that he stays. And because I think Barca have some finances issue as well, I cannot see Barca doing so much next year as well. And Danish Bhai, Bernardo Silva is a great player. We love him. We wanted him to stay. If he's not happy, we are happy to let him go. And I think that's the thing that Pep Guardiola has been saying for a long time. Pep will not take any nonsense. If a person wants to leave, Pep will allow him to leave. That's the way Pep is. रोनाल्डो के यूवेंटस टीम में वापस ला रही है. ये तो रैबियो ने ना मुराटा. But I think I will say one thing. Rabiot is not the bad player, but the problem with Rabiot is the attitude. And if Rabiot comes with the right attitude, he will not be a bad signing because, again, honestly, Rabiot is an upgrade on McTominay and Fred. And that's how bad McTominay and Fred are. But his attitude is a problem, and that is the thing that Ten Hag will not be able to take in the dressing room if he comes with that attitude. And will he win the World Cup? I think there's a good chance. Argentina are a good team, but there are more teams stronger than them. I think Brazil are fantastic. I think even England are looking good. I think France are there as the contenders as well. And there are a lot more other teams as well. You will see some World Cup content coming as well on this channel from next month onwards. But at the moment, it's just about Chelsea and the Premier League as well. And Ronaldo leaving United. I do think Ronaldo does want to leave United, but United are not getting any offers. Chelsea, Tuchel has stopped Chelsea from signing Ronaldo. Bayern Munich are not trying to sign him. And this is why there are lack of suitors for Cristiano Ronaldo. And Danish Bhai, Bernardo choosing Barca over City. Is he thinking that Barca has more chance of winning UCL? I don't think so. I think Danish Bhai, I don't think that's the case. I think he wants to go to Spain, and I think a lot of these players dream to play for Barcelona. That's the impact Messi, Xavi, Iniesta had. There are a lot of players dream to play in there. How is McTominay playing for a Premier League side? I don't know. I really don't know. I think people in the chat will agree with me as well that sequence where McTominay was against, like, he had a lot of space to work in. Sancho was left side, Bruno was right side, and it took 5 players on, and he had such space, but in the end, he ended tackling the Brighton player and losing the ball. That's how bad he is. And for these chats, I won't take. This is a spam one. So I'm blocking you. This is a I will take this one, please. So, will you see? He wants a new challenge. I do think that's the case, and Bernardo, that's why wants to leave as well. So now, summarizing all the Chelsea news before I end the video, guys. Please do like, subscribe, and please support the channel, guys. So talking about the Chelsea news, guys, the first news today that we saw and I discussed about was just bringing you the one was around Aubameyang, and for me, Aubameyang will be a fantastic deal for Chelsea and a deal I think we should be entertaining. But I do think that if we sign him for 10 million and we pay his 300k wages, 400k wages, then it's a disaster. The second news that I discussed about today was Wilfried Zaha, and Wilfried Zaha is available for 25 million. And for me, Wilfried Zaha is a better option than signing Depay or Aubameyang. And Wilfried Zaha is a Premier League proven player. He's good physically, he's good on his feet, he's good as a false nine, and I think this will be a good deal for Chelsea. And I'd rather see Kai Havertz play near to a striker than playing as a striker. And going on to slide number 3, Frankie de Jong sees Chelsea and Bayern as option, and I've been saying this for a long time. Frankie de Jong will not say no to Chelsea or Bayern. I do even say he won't say no to Erik ten Hag. But the problem is his first preference is to stay at Barcelona, and that's the thing that's been made clear for a long time. Chelsea growing in confidence of Fofana deal, and I do agree with that. And I do think that Leicester want 90, Chelsea want to agree in 80, and I think this deal will be done around 80 million, and it might be done in installment with some add-on as well. So I do think Fofana will become a Chelsea player. I do think it's overpriced, but I do think in this market you have to pay that price. And if Tuchel wants the player, if he's going to be the next future star, then pay any money Chelsea have got for him. Going to the next part, Hudson Ooi and Dortmund are a story that's been going around for a long time. Dortmund have wanted him for a long time, and it's no surprise they might get him this time. For me, Odoy is a very talented player who lost that burst of pace after the injury against Burnley, and I do think it's right time for Chelsea to let him leave, develop, and also give some other player chances as well. For me, if Chelsea let him go permanently, put a buyback clause in. If we let him go on loan, extend his contract. The next news is about Kyle Walker-Peters. Reece James, Chelsea have already signed Cucurella, has a big statement signing along with Chilwell, but I cannot see Chelsea making a big signing for a right wing back. And I think Walker-Peters is a better option than Dumfries. He will cost less, he will perform better, and I do think he's a much more clever player and can be a good James backup, because unlike Ruben Loftus-Cheek, this guy will overlap, he has a good pace, he has a, you can say, positional understanding of a right back, and I think this will be a fantastic signing for Chelsea in my opinion. Going to the next one, Marcus Alonso, and it's been very clear for a long time that Marcus Alonso will leave Chelsea. For me, he has been a clutch guy for Chelsea, and I have nothing but respect for him. But I think it was time for Chelsea to cut our losses and let him go and have a more superior defender in form of Cucurella and a more quicker attack defender in Cucurella, who suits a 3-4-3 formation much better than Alonso. And for me, Alonso is a player who is very clutch, but his defensive awareness, his technical ability is not at the level that is required from a left wing back in today's time. Malang Sarr, for me, I have nothing but respect for him, but sadly, he was not at the level Chelsea required. And I think it is right time for Chelsea to leave, let him develop, while we go to some other players as well. For me, with Edward Mendy, Chelsea have to do anything to keep him. Yes, his passing abilities have been questioned, but he's still one of the most talented goalkeeper in the world, and we do need to back him and keep him at the club. And the last one I discussed with in a long way, Timo Werner. I have nothing but respect for Timo Werner, and for me, I have nothing but love for Timo Werner. But as much as he was a good professional guy, his technical ability was pathetic, and I think as a striker, he did not suit in the Premier League. He needed a lot of space to run in, to have the space in, and he needed to be delivered 4 chances, 5 chances, 6 chances a game so he can score a goal, and that was never going to happen at Chelsea. So this was about the Chelsea news today. I'll take some chats before I end the video today. Please, guys, do subscribe and please keep supporting the channel, guys. And I'll talk about this just later in the video, Danish bhai. And gut feeling, City will come for Frankie in the end. I'm getting the feeling as well. Football Creeks. And this is why I think Chelsea United are really slowing it down. And if Bernardo goes, I do not even be surprised a swap deal might happen. So I think at the moment, do not be surprised about what's happening in this transfer window. That guy had the audacity to pull out a Cantona collar. He never had a reality check, I guess. I think you're talking about McTominay Abhishek by here, I believe. Please do clarify. Walker-Peters is a better option than Dumfries. I think Football Creeks, are you disagreeing or you're agreeing? Because for me, he's a better option because he will cost 20 million as compared to 50 million for Dumfries. And he's more attacking as compared to what Dumfries is. But do put your opinion in the chat, Football Creeks, if you disagree with me and the reason for that. He will cost less as well. What's there to laugh? I do agree with that, but I do want to see the opinion of Football Creeks here. And along with that, I will also talk a bit about Asia Cup. And Danish bhai, I will say about the Asia Cup, the squad is that the good thing is Rohit Sharma is back, KL Rahul is back, Virat Kohli is back, and Avesh Khan over Mohammad Shami is a thing I do not disagree with. I think Mohammad Shami's economy rate in T20 cricket, Danish bhai, is around 9. 9 economy rate is not good in T20. And I think Danish bhai, from the last 3 months as well, India has not played Mohammad Shami. And it was clear from a long, long time that India wanted Avesh Khan, and that's their idea to go about it. And McTominay is there only because he has United Academy graduate. I agree. I've seen it with Chelsea as well. Some players are not good enough. I think McTominay sadly is not good enough, and I think he's there. That's why, and along with the passion tag as well. But also, Danish bhai, I'll say one thing: who is the competition in the squad that he has got? Who is a competitor who can replace McTominay in the squad? I think that's also a massive concern that I think Eric Ten Hag has to solve. I do believe Eric Ten Hag should try at least one time. He should try playing Garner and Eriksen and Bruno in a midfield. I think that might be a good option, but I think that will leave United a lot more exposed defensively, and that could also be a problem in their own way. So, on that note, guys, I discussed a lot of Chelsea news today. I hope you enjoyed it as well. It was a great session with you. I want to thank everyone who joined in the super chat. Chat. Apologies. I do want to thank everyone who watched the show. I discussed a lot of Chelsea news today. A lot of news, around 10 news I covered today. Please do subscribe, guys. Please support the channel. And if you think I've said anything wrong, I have no intention to hurt anyone. If anything you have been hurt by, I apologize for that. And I hope you have a great day. And taking some final chats as well. If you think wage-wise, yeah, but if you think overall Dumfries is the more experienced, both at national, no, I agree. I agree, sir. I have no problem with that. But Football Creek, sir, Dumfries will cost 50 million and Walker Peters will cost 20. And along with it, I do think the Inter do not want to sell him. And 50 million, I think Football Creek, sir, for me is a bit more over expensive for a player like Dumfries. 50 million is massive for me. And this is why I'll rather spend 20 on Walker Peters and save that money for an attacking department. If I can get Walker Peters and Zaha for 40 million, why will I want Dumfries for 51 player just? On the final note, if combined the Manchester United is choose, I don't even think one of a player will make it to 11. It explains all. I do agree. But I do think Sancho is a very good player, Danish bhai. I don't know what's going on with Rashford. Bruno is a talented guy as well. I think Malacio is a good guy. Lisandro is very talented. I think in the midfield as well, I do believe Garner has some talent in him as well. Garnacho is a good talented guy as well. Majabri is talented as well. I think Amad Diallo as well. So his future is not that dark, but some of the players need to be removed, in my opinion. And tomorrow result day of my CS exam. Best of luck, Danish bhai. I do hope your result comes the best. Best of luck to you, Danish bhai. And hope, Danish bhai, you're great, and all the other chat as well. Thank you so much, Danish bhai, to join today, and wishing you best of luck, Danish bhai, for the result. And bless you for that, and I hope your result comes at the best, Danish bhai. And is Broga good for Chelsea? I think he's good enough. I think Broja is a good enough player, but we need to give him patience as well. You cannot expect him to score 15-20 this season. Young player must be given time to adjust. If fans have some patience, then yes, he's a good player for Chelsea. You guys have Insta page or account, sir? I've got Shrey767 on Twitter and ShreyFC on Instagram, so do follow me there as well. And our captain in this chat. I get your point, Danish bhai. So thank you everyone for watching today. I hope you have a great day. Thank you so much everyone for watching. And again, on final note, best of luck to Danish bhai for his CA exam result tomorrow. And thank you everyone who joined. So much thank you. Please, who haven't subscribed, do subscribe to the channel. Please support the channel. Thank you everyone, and hope you have a great day. Thank you so much, guys. Love you all.